evening, y'all. Welcome to the Spiritual Speakeasy, where the bar's always open and the spirits are always served. Greetings to South Coast Adventure, Bill in Paranormal Loop, UK, who's already on. Tonight's special guest is Chelle. She is a seasoned paranormal investigator, a clairvoyant, certified healing crystal practitioner, as well as the co-host of a live podcast herself, Q2 Hours. And there's a lot more to tell about this because she does private investigations, home investigations. So I'm going to add her to the stage now. Welcome.
Hi, Julie.
So good to
Hello.
see you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me tonight. I'm so excited.
I'm excited to have you. Q2 Paranormal says hi. Hello out
Awesome.
there, everybody. Thanks for joining us. So how did you get started in this?
How did I get started? Well, honestly, we bought a house that was really haunted.
Nice.
So, my abilities go back to when I was young, but what got me into the paranormal was actually moving into a home that was really haunted. I was getting scratched. I was getting bruised. My fiance was pulled out of bed one night, growls in my ears. Footsteps down the hallway, you name it. We experienced it all. And through the process of going through learning how to get rid of it ourselves, that's what pulled us into this officially. We kind of just got into it from there.
You know, it's kind of funny. We all of us start at childhood, and then there's that one haunted house,
Yeah.
that one that kind of sucks you in and you learn from.
I've never lived in a haunted house before, so when we bought that house, I was like, oh no, literally, it was very scary at first, but we learned how to deal with it, and now we help other people who have those issues.
So is your team your fiance and you? How many other members?
2 people, just me and him. But
Okay.
we take people with us. We went to Madison for Halloween last year, took 10 people with us. So we like to bring people with us, but yeah, just me and him when we go to home cases and stuff.
Nice, nice. It's like myself and my husband too. Hi, Pam.
Mm.
I have found it goes so much easier with limited number of people in personal homes. I'm sure you've had the same experience. I don't know what your travel space is, but when we travel, we end up in some homes that are just like need to be condemned
Yeah.
we end up being as much social workers without being the social worker as we are paranormal people.
I definitely can relate to that. We've been in some crazy houses, some crazy situations. Definitely.
Yeah. So out of curiosity, how did you end up taking care of your personal haunted house that you were getting scratched and everything else in?
Well, the first step was to just ignore it. That's basically how I dealt with it at first. And we pulled our friends in, metaphysical people. We had psychics. Learning. That's what got me into the crystals as well. I was trying to learn how to protect myself with them. I was just trying everything I could find, but it was just trial and error. And eventually, we got in. We were introduced to blood sage and all these different types of techniques. So we eventually got rid of it, thankfully.
That's good. That's good. How does this tie in your bio? You said you were the daughter of a Baptist minister.
Mm-hmm.
What
Yes.
does he think about that?
Well, unfortunately, he's no longer with us. But if he were here alive today, um, he was kind of don't talk about it, don't dive into it, don't do that type of thing.
Hmm.
Um, but I don't know. I feel like he helped people in his own way for his time. And
Hmm.
I feel like in my own way, I'm helping people in my time for the 21st century, with the crystals and the paranormal. And I look at it as having a gift, and I'm going to help people with it. So that's how I view it.
Well, and don't you think we're really all on the same side? We just go about it a different way.
Exactly. Exactly. I don't think he would be as open minded about it, honestly. But, I feel like I'm really helping people. So, and I feel like you know, in his day, he helped people. So I'm totally. I totally have a good feeling about it.
Yeah. I know we've had discussions, like we've been at vending shows and different things down in Arkansas, and we've had protesters show up, and it's trying to find that common goal. Like, well, wait a minute, like you're on the side of the light, right? Like you're fighting for Jesus and God, and maybe your hierarchy seems a little bit more different, but the whole goal is to get the demonic out or get the really bad stuff out.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's what we're doing too. And we had so many people go, wait a minute, no, that's what you are. No, that's what we do.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's not at all. That's what you're taught we do, but that's not.
It's crazy the amount of backlash you get from certain religions and religious people. I was told once that yoga was evil. And I'm like, what? Are you kidding me? But
Yeah.
yeah, I had a whole argument about how yoga was evil.
And there's a whole movement against that. I'm a Kundalini instructor as well. And the Kundalini in yoga, I hear that quite often because it has to do with the serpent and the root chakra, and they see that as moving the serpent through your body and not the energy. They don't see the serpent as the energy, and it's a whole.
Yeah.
You can't fight that. I just to me, it's not logical. So I'm just like, okay, well, we're just going to find something else to talk about.
I've just gotten to the point where I just don't argue with people about it. I say what I have to say and I move on. I walk right down the sidewalk like I don't really care. I don't really care.
Yeah. We're entitled to our own opinion and that type of thing.
Yeah.
So of all the cases that you've done, let's start with home. What was the scariest home case you ever worked?
Well, there is a case where we walked into the home and there were 2 twin little girls there. I'm not sure how old they were, probably maybe like a year old, 2 years old. And the father, we walked in and he thought he was using symbols to protect his children, right? Mm-hmm. But in actuality, and it's been so long, I don't remember which particular symbol he was using, but he was actually calling in very bad things with these symbols. And he had them taped on every inch of the home. He had them in the playpen, on the playpen. I mean, on the ceiling, on the floor, on the walls. And we were like, oh my gosh, I literally watched something grab the hair of this little tiny 1-year-old, cutest little kids, blonde hair, curly blonde hair. I saw it reach and grab this kid by the head, and that kid started like screaming bloody murder. And
oh my gosh,
probably for me the scariest thing I've ever witnessed. Like, wow. 'Cause you can handle when an adult gets, pulled or pushed or whatever, but a little innocent little baby, and it happens right in front of your eyes, and you're like, wow, it's really scary. Really scary moment.
That's horrific. So did he look those symbols up on the internet, or was that something fed to him subconsciously from something that was evil?
I cannot remember where he got it, but it was not it was doing the opposite, basically, pretty much. And so I could sense Native Americans around this entire home, and he was convinced that the Native Americans were the ones doing this, and it wasn't.
Oh, no.
They were actually, if I had to describe it in the way we speak today, they were dumbfounded at what was going on here. And they were trying to form a circle of protection around these babies.
To protect the kids and the land too.
Yeah, and I'm getting goosebumps talking about it right now. But they were trying to protect him and his family, and he thought they were the ones doing it. And I'm like, no, they're trying to protect you, and they're wondering what the crap you're doing right now. Like, we've got to stop this. And yeah, that's probably the scariest.
Wow.
Scariest case.
Wow. So obviously you all removed the symbols.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we thought yeah. And I put crystal grids all over the property. I mean, we did literally everything we could think of to help this family because of those children. It was just so heartbreaking.
So what was the result?
The result is we were able to get rid of that, and there was a portal there as well that we were able to close down. But Unfortunately, I didn't really feel like the kids were safe, so we did get social workers involved in the whole thing because it was just so heartbreaking, and I just wanted them to be safe when we weren't there. Uh,
Right. Oh,
I,
for
you know,
sure. For sure.
so
That to me is the hardest part when it's not just paranormal, but it's the conditions in the house and it's the reactions of the adults to the things that are going on in the house and
yeah,
yeah, that's heartbreaking in so many different aspects. But we make our referrals and then we move on and just hope for the
yeah,
best. I've seen some good outcomes from the referrals too.
yeah,
Like I've seen some really bad family situations seem like they're going to get worse, but in the end, everything worked out for the best. And you
yeah,
just like, I think it's intentions. I think we try to come up with the best intentions and manifest that. And that's the best thing that we can do.
yeah, yeah. Do the right thing. That's the best thing you can do. And in that situation, I really felt like that was the best thing.
Have you heard from them since?
Yeah. The I think she was his wife. She's doing pretty well now. And I think that she said he was getting help as well. So,
Oh,
I
good.
mean,
Good. As
yeah. So,
positive as it could be.
yes, yes. Hi, Jeffrey. Hi, Pam.
Hi, Jeff. Yeah, I was just going to say hi, Pam. Hi, Jeff. Hi, everybody.
Mm.
Thanks for joining us. Scariest or most favorite or both?
Oh, both.
Locations.
There's
So
this place
many.
there. Yeah, there is, but one sticks out for sure. And I don't know if you've ever heard of it. It's a place called the Bel Air House in Ohio.
Yep.
17 portals, maybe more. And we spent 2 nights over Halloween one year there. And like, I can do a lot of things. I've done a lot of things in the paranormal. I'm a pretty strong minded person, but that place almost broke me. Like, I was ready
Ooh.
to leave it. By day 2, I was really ready to leave that place. It
Mm.
was insane. Hi, Michaela. Thank you. But
So,
yeah,
most of those places have rules. I know that, I'm sure you get the spiel every place you go to where the spirits belong here and you can't cross them over. You have to leave them alone. If there's any portals, they belong to the landowners. You can't close them down. So you're walking in. What do you do personally in those situations? Because you've got a place people are paying to go get that scare. And at the same time, that's like more than what you bargained for.
yeah. Well, one place comes to mind when you mentioned that, and it was the what is it, old hospital on College Hill. We went there, and there was a little boy there. I can't remember his name now, but he kept following me around everywhere, and he kept asking me for help.
Mm.
And I'm like, I'm torn. I'm really torn. Like, there's this little boy here stuck in this place, like literally asking me for help, like every couple seconds. And I'm like, what do I do? Do I move him on, or do I mean, because this is what makes the money, and this is, they want this kind of thing, but at the same time, it was a little kid. So I did. I moved him on. That's I had to.
One of your group says Billy. His name's Billy.
Yeah, yeah, Billy. That's it. Yes,
So,
Billy.
I do this thing too as I'm walking outside because it's, it seems like everybody in our group smokes or they go outside for outings for air.
Mhm.
And I'll just say, like, I have this generalized thing, like, I am not allowed physically to cross you over. However, if you choose to follow me outside, you are then free to leave.
Nice,
And that
nice.
way I'm not the one that's responsible per se for crossing them. I just invite them to come out on a break with me. And,
Right.
if
I
they
hope I
have to leave, then that's so be it. Like, I don't know. That's a tough call for me too, because some of that stuff is just, pure evil. And you don't know whether it's evil because it started out evil or if it's like the Bel Air place or if it's because so many people have done so much
yeah,
stuff there
yeah.
and
And
brought in
the
their own stuff.
Yeah, in the Bel Air house case, I really felt like that is a situation where so many things have been done. So many people have come in doing things that it's just like crazy.
They fed
It's
it.
Yeah. Have they? Okay.
I mean, I think they do. I think people, investigators and other people, in periods of time when those places are closed, I think people come in and do rituals and they amp stuff up and they bring stuff in, and
Yeah.
it just kind of does that, and it explodes on its own and gets fed, and then people react with fear, which then feeds it even more.
I'm telling you though, if you ever want to, I call it a paranormal fun house. If you ever want to go and 110% experience paranormal activity, frightening stuff, go to the Bel Air house because
In Ohio.
it was literally frightening. And like I said, I'm pretty much used to everything, but that place broke me almost.
And you did 2 days there, or 2 nights there?
2 nights, and it was Halloween, maybe a couple
Nice.
years ago, but yeah.
Nice. I might have to make it up there. That's, yeah.
Yeah, you definitely should. You definitely should.
What's your favorite piece of equipment to take with you? I know you're psychic, and most of us psychics don't use a lot of equipment, but we all have something we take.
I like simple old flashlight or something simple like that. A flashlight excites me, but yeah, you're right. Like I don't need the equipment, but we do it for entertainment value, so that the people we're with, they can have that valid evidence. They can have things they can see going on. It's not just us saying, well, this and that, but yeah, just a simple flashlight I like. And I know there's controversy about flashlights and stuff, but I love using them, and they excite me when they go off and stuff. It's pretty cool.
I think the light's energy. Again, you're kind of you're giving them a little boost of something that is exciting for them too. And lights on, lights off.
Yeah.
Some of that's not as scary as some of the ITC equipment that we bring in.
Yeah.
I'm really lucky. Part of our team working with Paranormal Task Force has Katie Stafford's equipment, and he does the equipment for like a lot of the big shows. And so we have, like the helmet, and we have different things that we can bring in, and it's fun to use, but I love it when we're just doing, like last night he was on live, and I think he was taking his son. They were doing a walkabout by one of the lakes they live by. And I'm like, there's an old dude sitting over there by the river, and he's got like bib overalls on, and he's got an old fashioned metal minnow box, and he goes over there and he's got one of his comm devices, I think his M-comm going, and might have been his reverse play. And I said, I think he's got some minnows left, and he comes on and he says something about stay, and then he's like, I got 3.
Yeah.
I got 3. And he's like, not right now, sir. We got to be going. But, it was so neat to have that validation for the listeners, because we can call it all day, but those people that are skeptics are always going to say, well, but then when you get something on an IT device or ITC device that calls out what we've just said without anything, it's just like, yes.
Yes. I would love to have the helmet.
That's so cool. I'll have to hook you up with KD. I love my helmet. It is very cool.
Yeah.
It's looks a bit like Tron. It's fun to put on and connect. We're going to go down to Potosi, Missouri next weekend, and I think we're going to try to do. Yes, it is the God helmet. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to try to do a double God Estes type of thing and see what we come up with.
Oh my gosh, so much fun.
See, I like doing stuff like that. And I don't like to scry. We had an interesting experience scrying with the conjuring mirror in the 1858 Garnett house.
Wow.
So now I'm kind of hooked, even though I brought some stuff back with me.
Oh yeah.
Brought some little tag along souvenirs that we're working through, but how that goes.
I know how that goes. Yeah.
Yeah. Q2, he calls it, well, it was dubbed the God helmet. He calls it the ghost helmet. Yeah. Just because that doesn't.
Chris is the one under Q2 name right now. He actually makes most of our equipment for us.
Okay.
He makes like dolls, and he made a music box for us and all sorts of things. So, but yeah, God helmet would be awesome.
Yeah, that's fun. And then of course I've got my little Fluffy.
Oh,
Fluffy the cow that lights up on his head, and
nice.
all kinds of little things. I always forget to take him though, because he doesn't fit in my backpack. And we try to get simple, because you don't use 3/4 of what you
Right.
Like,
Yeah. I
started
don't like,
Hmm?
I don't like really, I mean, I don't really even use anything but a flashlight. That's good enough for me. Like everybody else has cameras and the audio recordings and stuff. I just take a flashlight.
We started body camming, which really
Mhm.
makes it nice because they have a location sensor and they, it has the night vision, and we'll just clip it on and keep it on like through the whole evening,
Yeah.
which really
Good
makes it
idea.
nice because then you're not carrying around a shit ton of stuff.
Exactly. I hate
And,
that. I hate that.
we have Amazon chairs, those little pop-up disc chairs that hold like
Hmm.
600. We have two of those, and I've got a backpack, but then I never use anything in my backpack. So I'm really
I
wondering
know.
why
I
I'm
always, I always
carrying
take it.
it.
I always take it in, but I never even use it. Like,
Yeah,
just
my
give me a
body cam is
flashlight.
what I use, and the body cams have clips and stands, so we can stand them up. Like if we're doing an SD someplace, we
Hmm.
can put the body cam on a stand so it doesn't shake, and so really you don't need much more.
No, I think
Blindfold headphones.
we have the night vision cameras, but we also have the little GoPros. I think is what they're called.
Hmm.
Chris is the tech guy. I'm just the one that finds the spirits when we get there. That's
Yeah.
technically my job, to find them and describe what they look like, and then everybody else does their thing.
Do you do any that came out like all muddled? Do you do any drawing
Drawings.
drawings, or do you do any automatic writing?
I do automatic writing. I wish I could draw, but I can't. I suck at it. But I do try to draw what I see. But Chris, he draws. He's an artist. He's a tattoo artist. So he actually draws the spirits. He can see them as well. And
Oh, that's
he can do psychometry. I'm sure you know what that is, where you touch
Mhm.
the object and you can see layers of the past. He
Oh,
can
that's
do that.
Oh, what a great combination.
Yeah.
So being a tattoo man, I cannot talk. Tattoo artist, he is able to probably sketch out what you tell him as well.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
That's
Because
nice.
my extent of drawing is like stick figure people. Like I can't do it, but he can. He can sit down and draw whatever I describe. So, and he actually has a artist book of drawings from different spirits that we've come across.
Oh, that's so cool. Yeah, because
Yeah.
I can see things really well, but then and I can describe them, but then to try to sketch them out, it looks like a 2-year-old with a thick crayon. It doesn't
Mhm. Mhm.
like that's not at all what I saw up there. Somehow from here to there, it got
Mhm.
lost.
Yeah, yeah. I wish I could draw, but yeah. I used to tell him, I'm like, babe, please draw, that would be so cool. Like when you see a psychic who can actually draw on paper what's being seen, like that's fascinating for people to
That
look.
is.
And so I talked him into finally doing it, and some of his artwork is amazing.
That's cool. No, and I think
Mhm.
that's needed too because we see so much, but to try to put it
Yeah.
in words or get it on
Mhm.
paper with to the extent it loses, stick people lose a whole lot of the
Yeah.
flavor there. Like that was not a stick spider with his head on backwards. It's not at all what I saw.
It's frustrating because I can see them so vividly. Like I can see down to the stitching in their clothing. I can see them so well, but I can't put it on paper, and it's so frustrating. Maybe I'll enroll in an art class. Who knows?
Oof, oof. That's scary in itself. I don't
Yeah, right.
know if I get a big F because yeah, can't even do a circle. That's scary.
Me either.
So when you see things that have passed on, like dead humans,
Hmm.
do you see them in death state or do you see them in whatever they want to show you in?
Whatever they want to show me, which is usually their life before they pass. Like I don't very rarely see death state spirits. They tend to come through for me, and a lot of them come through in their happy state. Like I'll see them cooking, or some of them have their favorite room, and they'll be in their favorite room. I saw one last night who had a favorite mirror, and she showed me her standing in front of her favorite mirror all the time. So that's how I normally see them.
That's cool.
Now, Bel Air House, no, yeah, it was not good. I was, no.
That's I tend they'll start out depending on where they are, they will start out for
Mhm,
me in a death state and
mhm,
then it goes backwards.
mhm,
Like then I'll see other things. When I do readings for people, they don't show me their death state. They show me what the person needs to see to believe that it's real.
Oh, that's
So,
nice.
you know, I'll get little snippets, or they'll show me, like, they'll start out with smells. I'm really smell oriented. So they'll start out with, you know, sometimes teas or flowers or perfume or coffee. And then they go from there. They'll start adding layers to what they want me to see.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of times too, it'll play in my mind's eye like a movie. Like
Hmm.
I don't know if you get that as well, but
Yeah.
they will show me things like a movie as well. But yeah,
I
luckily
get
I
that
haven't.
when I'm doing readings. That's my thing when I do bone readings, and when I do that and somebody says their name 3 times, their birth name 3 times, it triggers a like a little acoustic record of their current life. So I
Hmm.
can see little snippets of things that have happened. Usually trauma. I don't usually see a whole lot of nice things. It usually starts
Yeah,
out with trauma,
yeah,
unfortunately. So, but I mean, I think that's good for a reading because that goes straight to the point of why they're there. And
yeah, exactly. Yeah. Hmm.
so now you do
Definitely.
tarot, right?
I do tarot. Yes. Yep. I do tarot. I do crystals. A little bit of everything. I don't know. I just enjoy it. Really. Um, Again, it's probably something my dad would be like, no. But
Well, do you take those to haunted locations to do, or do you do shows or private readings, or how do
I
you do
do
that?
private readings and I do like shows and stuff, but I have not taken them on a location. I just never thought to. And then, like in the video games Chris plays, they're taking tarot cards into the haunted locations. And I'm like, you know what? I never thought
I
before.
know, right? So I don't take my bones in, and I don't know
Mhm.
why. I mean, it's like I've thought about it more than once, and I've thought that would be really cool. Bone readings take kind of like, well, you're talking to other people, that takes like an hour, but to sit there and actually throw bones, I just don't know. I think I don't want to contaminate my set like that. Like I don't want to take it in, even though I know how to clean it. I have
Yeah.
taken tarot cards into people's private houses.
Hmm.
Um, and interestingly enough, there was one case that I took where one of the girls, she had like 4 girls, and one of the girls had what I would consider mm, partial demonic possession. And I used the word demon loosely for that.
Hmm. Hmm.
One of the older girls had a deck of tarot cards, and I had brought my cards. And I don't know why I brought my cards. Like I just brought my cards. And I did a 3 card pull to figure out like what was going on and how long this had been going on. And I got the Hangman Death and the Satan card, the demon card, which is kind of interesting. And that was with my deck. And so I took her deck from her. The mom wanted it removed. Mom didn't want anything like that. The house didn't realize that her daughter had brought it in. And I shuffled the cards and pulled the same 3 cards on her deck.
Wow.
And it was like, what are the chances? Like, you know,
Hmm.
this wasn't stacked. It was just weird. And it kind of, then the night went to hell after that. It was not a good night. It ended well, but it was not a good night. We
I
have
think, yeah, that is insane.
the energy was absolutely terrible. And yeah.
Sometimes you get in situations like that where, those home cases, some of them can get really terrible,
Yeah.
really.
Yeah, we learned at that point in time that we start appointing family members to restrain people if something happens,
Oh,
because
yeah.
we have gone hands off ever since that.
Yeah, no doubt.
Like, you know, that was not something. It's one of those situations where you walk in on it and you don't know it's going to occur,
Mm-hmm.
and it occurs,
Yeah.
and then you're like, oops.
Yeah. No.
Oops, that probably should not have happened that way.
Yeah,
But live and learn.
exactly.
A lot of live and learns.
Yes, yes.
If you could go any place, where have you not been that you want to go?
You know what? I have not been to Waverly Hills, and
I haven't either.
it's been on my bucket list. I've wanted to go there from the very moment I first watched it on TV. I don't know why, but I haven't been there yet. But I'm going to make it. It's on my paranormal bucket list. That's one of the places I have not been that I definitely want to go.
Yeah, that's on my list too. Have you been out to Pennsylvania, Gettysburg?
Oh yeah, Gettysburg Crescent. Have you
Yes.
been?
I've not been to the Crescent, no, but I did go to Gettysburg.
Yeah, we spent a night at Crescent. Now Gettysburg, it's crazy as well. I mean, lots of things happen there as well. But
Mm-hmm.
I really enjoyed Crescent just because we got free reign of like 20 different buildings,
Oh,
uh,
that's neat.
and the tunnels run all completely under everything. It
But
was
how
really
do you
cool.
do all that in one night?
Well, that's when we take fans with us. When we do big places like that, see, we have our private thing that we do, but we also just like to go and have fun with our fans. And so we
Mhm.
will bring them along, especially on the big places. So we have them to help us. So just give them a camera. And when we were at Madison last year, we had challenges that we were pulling out of the hat, and they'd have to pull one out, read it, do it, go off and do it, record it. It was really
Oh,
fun.
that's sweet. That's a neat
Yeah.
idea.
Yeah, it was really fun. They enjoyed it. We had fun. And a lot of times I just like watching other people do it, you know? Like I've done
Mhm.
it so much, we're kind of like boring, you know, because we don't really get scared easy. And, you know, we've done this for so long. So we kind of end up coming across as boring. so
No,
you, so you stick 10 people in there who've never done it before, you know, give them a night vision camera, a task to do. It's really entertaining. It's fun for them. It's fun for us to watch. So
that's cool.
it's
Michaela
a,
said it's so fun going. It sounds like fun. And you're right, though. You know, it gets to the point where I'm not going to say I've ever seen a place as being boring, but you have so many jump scares. And then you get to the point where you're just kind of like, we were at 1858 and one of the dolls like parachuted, I'm going to say jumped off the shelf. It did not fall. It went across the room and landed. And I think the guy that owned the place was waiting for us to like scream or jump or do something. And we're just sitting there looking up at the place and looking down and go, we turned our cameras off, didn't we? Like, we didn't get that on camera, did we? No. It was like, damn, the one time our cameras are off and the doll had to.
Yeah. That reminds me of the Ross house. Michaela went with us for an overnight there. And she had to sleep in the chinchilla room. And we were all sleeping, snoring. And Michaela's like, I don't know how you guys can sleep in this freaking haunted house. And she's like, I can't sleep. And I was like, you know,
oh, yeah.
like
Snore away, snore away.
Actually, they did a session with Gretchen, the haunted doll, and I literally fell asleep beside the haunted doll while they were doing the session. They had it all on camera, me snoring, and I'm like,
I have seen more than one person do that, though. You know, because, you know, 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning, one of our friends, they were live in an investigation, and she was like blindfolded and had her headset on. She was doing the Estes, and all of a sudden, like her head's going down, and she's like out, and we're just like, oh God.
yeah,
It happens. Like you're so tired, and now it's quiet.
yeah.
Now you can just kick back, and it's like it feels good to get off your feet for a second. And you just
they had me on live snoring on video, snoring right beside the doll. It was insane. But yeah, I was tired.
That'd be something I would do. Yeah, I get it. I get it. It happens. And you're yawning through the whole thing, like
yeah, my head was like going down. I was like, I can't do it, guys. I gotta go to sleep.
past my bedtime. It's 3 in the morning. Like I need some rest.
McKay's like, I don't know how you can sleep in this haunted house.
Sometimes you get your best stuff when you go to sleep and you keep your cameras rolling.
Yeah.
We were at a place in Herman, Missouri, and the White House Inn, and it's not deemed to be haunted, but those of us that know it, it's a bed and breakfast in a river town, a little German winery town, and it's right off the river, and the naval ships would pull up, and they used it as a restaurant, drinking, bar, speakeasy type of place back in the day. And we had finally gone to sleep, and I want to say it was like 4 in the morning. We had left all of we had blinks. We set blinks up all over the place, and I put a blink in our bedroom and finally nodded off. And like, you know, you can hear my husband and me, we're like snoring like crazy, like banshees. and something, you can hear a click and the camera comes on and somebody whispered they throw the bodies in the river. And I had been
Wow.
asking all night, what are you doing? Because it's kind of like they don't want to talk about the history as a brothel, but they had a doctor that lived there in the house, for the women, for the travelers.
Yeah.
And they had a doctor, and I kept saying, what are they doing with the women? What are they doing with the babies? Like, what are they doing with this? And the answer came when I finally went to sleep. They throw the bodies in the river.
Wow.
And it
Wow.
was just as
Amazing.
clear as could be, like on the blink, you hear the whole whisper sentence.
Wow.
So sometimes it's good to snore through things and
Yeah.
catch.
But
They come to you when you're sleeping.
yeah, they do. They do actually. But that evidence review, man, it gets me every time. I hate it.
Yeah, because things have come up to you and said things and you missed it and you didn't know they were right there. And
yeah.
and that's what I like about the body cameras. You don't always pick up like a lot of the sounds, but they're pretty. The mics aren't great on it, but you can hear your stomach growl. Like my stomach growls through the whole investigation, and we've picked up a lot of grumblies and a lot of things like that. And so you pick up enough if it's close enough by you and you're not worrying about getting stuff out and taking pictures.
Yeah. That's all cumbersome to me. You got to hold the camera, you got to hold this, you got to hold that, you got to hold this. Like, I don't even, but that's a good solution.
Yeah, just flip on a body cam, turn it off. So I learned, this is funny, we were using them probably several months, and different paranormal teams always have their little spiel when you're going on their tours. And one of the guys on one of the teams, they rent out body cams to people, and it was really funny. He goes, and don't forget to turn them off when you go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
And my grandson was actually investigating with me on that one, and this was the second night of an investigation, and he looks at me and he goes, oh shit. Yeah. And I'm like, oh buddy. And he's like, I don't think I turned mine off. And I said, I don't think I turned mine off either. Like, I don't think I've ever thought about that.
That reminds me of one of our fans that went, I think it was Bel Air House with us, Chuck. We put a camera in everybody's bedroom to record night vision while they were sleeping. And we got up the next day. He's like, pulled me aside. He said, Chelle? And I said, yes. He said, please don't put me in my boxers on your TV show.
Oh, no.
I was like, what? He's like, I forgot there's a camera, and I got undressed right in front of it. He's like, please don't put that on there. I'm like, I would not do that, but thank you for telling me.
Letting me know. Well, yeah, because sometimes people sleep with like no clothes on, and it's just how they sleep. And yeah, they warned us at the White House Inn. We had rented it during the week, not the weekend when it was full. So we were the only ones for the whole hotel. And the luxury of that was we were the only ones for the whole hotel, but they have cameras in the halls, and they're like, please keep your clothes on while you're running around in the halls. I'm like, well, thank you for telling me that, because that would have been a little bit,
yeah. Yeah, I'm a totally
not that I'd run around naked, but t-shirt and underwear would be acceptable.
Yeah, me, the less clothes the better. That's just the way I feel. Like, I don't like wearing clothes around.
I don't either. Pants are optional, bras are never. I'm just like,
exactly.
Wow. So, okay, residential. You still do residential cases?
We do.
You've not been driven away from that yet.
No, because we like to help people. I'm driven by helping people, because I just feel like that is, obviously when I died and came back, I lived a lot of my life feeling like I didn't have a purpose here. Like, I was angry that I was actually here. And so this has given me like a feeling of purpose to help people. So that's what I'm rolling with. We like to help people, and yeah. I mean, there's a lot of things about home cases that can get crazy sometimes, but the reward is, the feeling of help, you've helped somebody.
Right.
Because they don't have a lot. They don't have people to tell, because people will be like, you're crazy or whatnot. So, that people end up living sometimes even with the feeling of being tortured. And like I was scratched, I was bruised, I was, drug out of bed, like cut up when I go, just all sorts of really bad things. And they don't have anybody to tell. It's not like you can call 911
Oh,
and be like,
geez, no.
hey,
That'll
I
get
have
you
this
a 72-hour hold.
I have this ghost and he's beating me up now, but they can't do that. So yeah, I feel like this has given me a purpose to be here and helping people with my gifts. And so that's what I'm rolling with.
Very nice. You said your death experience. Do you talk about that openly?
I do, but I don't really talk about it a lot because people don't ask me. I don't know if they don't want to know about it or they're afraid to know about it. I mean, but I don't mind talking about it. And actually I've been approached to like write a book about it.
Mm-hmm.
But I just don't feel like I'm capable of writing a book. But um yeah, I'll talk about it. Um anything that you'd like to know.
Well, tell us what happened.
Well, I was 9 years old. I was in third grade, I think. I started having real bad stomach pains to the point where I couldn't stand up straight anymore. I had to walk bent over. I had missed a couple weeks of school because of it, and they finally took me to the doctor. And the doctor said, do a jumping jack. And I was like, I can't do a jumping jack. I can't even stand up straight. And he's like, do a jumping jack. He was like, really mean. I was like, fine. And I kind of did it the best I could. He said, she's fine. She's just trying to get out of school. She's
Oh, no.
fine. Yeah. So they took his word for it, took me back home. And like 2 days later, my appendix ruptured. And not only was it bad enough that my appendix ruptured, but when I got to the hospital, they couldn't find a surgeon to take it out for two
Oh, no.
days. I had to go 2 days in the hospital with a ruptured appendix until I could get in there to get it out. And I remember my family smacking me in the face saying, don't go to sleep. Stay awake. Stay awake. It was that really, really bad. And at some point back there, I mean, I slipped away. I could see myself on the bed. I kind of like did one of these things up to the corner, and I felt this incredible light. And the best way I can describe it is a light like at a concert, like there's really massive white lights that hit you and you can feel the energy. It was kind of like that, but I didn't see it. I could feel it, like it hit me in the chest. And I don't know, I often think about this. Maybe it's because I was so young and I was innocent that I had this like kind of really positive experience, but I just all of a sudden it was like the universe, like the stars and clouds. I remember I was going to this place in the distance that looked like cotton candy clouds, and I was so excited to get to that point, and then I'm back here. Like it was just that, and it was really an amazing experience. There's no judgment like people talk about. Not for me, anyways. Like I said, I often wonder if it's because I was so young that I don't have like some judgment thing to talk about like most people do, but I don't know where that comes from because it wasn't like that with me. It's very loving, a very positive experience for me. So, but I struggled a lot when I came back because, like I said, I was angry that I was here because I knew where I was so amazing. And the energy that you feel was so amazing. Like it hits you in the chest, and I can't even describe it. And then all of a sudden, I'm back here, and I spent a lot of my life being angry about that and depressed about that. But like I said, this paranormal and my abilities opened up, and I learned how to like wield them a little bit. And I just feel like now I'm so much happier because I have a purpose in life and helping people and my gifts and stuff that uh, I feel like were unlocked at that moment in the hospital. So
That's a beautiful story. That's
thank you.
That's really neat. No, I think so many of us have had those death or near death experiences, and it opens up the veil a
Yeah.
hundred times more than was ever opened before. At least in my opinion, it does. Like I had skills before. my skills are like on crack now. Like, it just opened up everything more than what it was before. And it does give you purpose. I think it gives you, like, I think you're tuned in more after you've had that experience. Of course, at 9, you had to figure a lot of other things out too.
Yeah.
To get there and see your worth.
Yeah.
But we're so glad you did, because like we're needed out there. Like, people don't understand how much, like you said, people who have hauntings have no place to turn. Some of the bigger cities now have what they call paranormal people on their task force or their police force, because you cannot assume that everybody you go into, everybody's house is on drugs, or there are paranormal people. And I actually have physicians that will like text me and say, okay, so I've got this client and I don't want to put them on meds because I don't think they're mentally ill. I think they've got something in their house. Can you go check that out before I do something?
Yeah.
And to me, that's like total respect, because they're willing to see that there's something else out there, the unknown, willing to say that maybe this is not a mental illness, or there's something they've brought in.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like we've come a long way, kind of accepting the unknown a little bit. I mean, there's a lot more to go, but it's not the way it used to be. It's not so taboo, I don't feel like, anymore. And a lot of psychologists, and I've noticed they're open a lot more to the possibility of it being paranormal, instead of just automatically writing it off as a mental illness.
Right. No, I agree with that too. And I think back, because I was a mental health nurse, and I've always done like locked mental health units and forensic psychiatry, which is, for people who don't know forensics, that's like your moderate, your intermediate, and your maximum security. People who have gotten charges, people who are mentally ill beyond being able to live in a community. They have to be taken care of. They're so dangerous. And yet I can remember medicating people down for seeing things in the parking lot and seeing things in their homes. And I look back, from my 20s and 30s, I'm 63 now, but I look back and I go, oh, holy crap. Like, I'm seeing the same things they saw, and now I understand. And what if that was not a mental illness? What if that,
Yeah.
We didn't have that understanding. It wasn't open in the 80s and 90s. And even 2000s, it wasn't open, communicated like that. You couldn't, you told a psychiatrist, I mean, it would have been Thorazine and Ativan right there on the spot,
Yeah. I'm happy that they're being more open-minded and exploring the possibility that it might not be a mental illness now.
Right.
I'm happy about that. Yeah.
Right. Pamela says I have to honestly say Waverly is not for beginners.
Yeah, I would say not, Pam. I think Pam has been to Waverly. I haven't been there yet.
We need more people willing to ask us for help. Yeah. And science needs to be more open. And I think that's where we're going, Chris. I think, with the ITC devices and God helmets and lights and REM pods and all of that stuff, your thermal cameras and your SLS cameras, trying to prove that something is there. So like I can say, look at the left-hand upper corner of that room and I can tell you what's hanging there. But if you can put an SLS on that and see that thing hanging there, then you've proven that there's something there that I saw, that it's, scientific. I mean, it's going to take some acceptance before people see that is completely scientific. But I think we're getting closer.
We are. We definitely are.
We haven't figured out if we're all floating in the same dimension, like the multiverse. I think that's a big question. Like, are we playing with past, present, and future? Are we playing with a multiverse all going on right now and we're crossing back and forth? There's so many things that we don't know.
Yeah, that's the frustrating part. Ever since I died, I have been on this journey of finding the truth. What did I really experience? What is it really? Is there a God? Like, because I mean, I feel bad saying this, but growing up the way I did, very Bible related, I just find some of the stuff in there to be, or that it just seems like, mm, I don't want to.
Well, it's stories to explain things. I mean, I think we can agree that there's stories that were finally written down for the way people explain things back in those times.
Yeah, yeah,
And I'm
and
not sure whether that was the actual creation or those were stories that were told about the creation.
yeah. I feel like it was written in a way that the people could understand it when it was, back then. I don't know. I've just always been on this journey of finding the truth. Okay, if this really happened, then I want to see the proof of it, or this and that. And I've just been on this whole journey my whole life.
Hmm.
I've got my own thoughts and beliefs about it, and I just I have fun exploring, and really been fun journey.
It's definitely an interesting journey.
Yeah, yeah.
And there's so many different teachings, like your higher conscious hypnosis, your QHHT. It'll tell you that the subconscious, everybody's subconscious is connected, like kind of Borg like. It's like a higher consciousness of thought, and everybody's connected. And they talk in third person because it's all universal healing and universal this and that. And if that's the case, then some of that stuff that we have believed is not real.
Hmm.
And we can definitely group consciousness can change things.
Yeah. Oh,
And then
definitely.
you go into people who use psilocybin, and you've got the shoot, I just drew a blank on the codex. um Whew, it's gone. Somebody's Dragon Codex. I just drew a blank on her name. That's terrible. But it's the Dragon Codex, and it's millions of people who have used psilocybin, and they all have to see the same mothership, and they see the souls and the ability to contract and go where they want to go. And I just think there's so many things out there that we've not explored.
Yeah, yeah. Um, at Madison, we had 10 fans that went with us, and one of the experiments I wanted to do was seeing if they could manifest activity. So we
Ooh,
sat them all in a hallway, and we told them, "This is what you think about. We're going to manifest this to happen." It was really cool, very cool. We recorded it all, and um, it was very interesting.
how many things came out identical in different places?
We've only tried it that Madison so far, so but I plan on getting. I had to take a couple years off. I'm just now coming off of that because my mother passed away.
Mm.
So I've kind of been healing from that. And the community just feels like it's been toxic here lately. But I'm getting ready to get back into it. And this is like my first podcast I've done since I took my little hiatus. So
It's hard when we have people that pass.
mhm.
you know it's
And
it's hard.
something it is hard, and something that I deal with, and I don't know, I ask every medium I come across, so I'm going to ask you as well. I can connect to your loved one that's passed, Chris's loved one that's passed. I can connect to anybody's loved one who's passed, but I cannot connect to my mom and my dad.
so
Why?
so I can only answer for myself. I do know other mediums that do connect to their family members. um my dad shows up when he chooses to show up, which is very rarely.
Hmm.
And he's not shown up for me since I was a kid, a teenager. He passed when I was 15. He showed up in times of crisis, absolute crisis. He will pop in, and
Hmm.
he will still pop in times of crisis. But my mom made it very clear. She passed in 2020, and she made it very clear that I was not to contact her. She did not agree with, she was in her late 90s when she passed. She made it very clear she did not like or approve of what I did, and she would not be contacting me and did not want me to bother her.
Oh my
And
goodness.
so I honored that. You know, like I'm not going to piss a spirit off. That's not what I'm here for. But she has come through in other people's readings for me that do not know my history. And she has said, and my mom was a Virgo, and she was a very stern Virgo.
Mm-hmm.
And she has shown up just long enough to say things like sarcastically, tell Julie she was right. You know, and then she says, I have nothing more to say, but just tell her she was right. That'll make her happy.
Oh my goodness.
Or, you know, thank you. She wants to thank me for putting her dog in her urn thing with her. The dog was cremated long before she passed, and then she was cremated. So we put them in the same thing when we buried them. And she did thank me for that. That was a couple of years later. And I've not tried.
Yeah.
I have no desire to, that this was not their era. This was not their thing. And if they have something to say, I always feel like they'll come through.
Yeah. I remember, like, I can't see them or anything like I can other people's loved ones. So that's always been frustrating for me. And I always ask every psychic that I come across a medium why. So, but I do see them in signs in my dreams and stuff.
Mhm.
So, but we were doing in a location one night. We had the equipment where the words come up, a ghost box or something like that. And my mom and dad, they called me Chelle. Okay. And all of a sudden on the ghost box, and I think it was Bel Air House we were in. We were in some serious doo-doo here. And all of a sudden it says, Chelle, what are you doing? And I was like, oh my gosh, I think that's my dad.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah.
Yeah. I have heard that from other people. I do know other people, though, that talk to them all the time or think they're talking to them all the time. Just not, yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Maybe one day it'll happen. I don't know.
Yeah, and like I said, I guess I could consciously reach out. I just have never tried. Like, to me, that's, you know, not that talking to other people's dead relatives is not sacred, but I don't want to bother my family. Like, I guess I kind of feel like they're there as guides. Like, if I need to know something, they're going to let me know. I live in my parents' house, and my son lives in my house, and which is weird, but we're right around the block from each other. And my grandson will tell me that something comes in and covers him up all the time, which would have been probably my grandma, because she lived here for a period of time, and she was a coverer. Like, oh my God, you could not sleep through the night without her putting covers on you 2 or 3 times a night.
Oh.
She had dementia, and she would like wander the house and she would cover people up. It's just what she did. So I think, you know, in a way, like, they're around. I just don't contact them.
Yeah.
I don't know what I would do if I got a hold of them. I don't know. I think that would freak me out. That's weird, because they're like your folks and your relatives.
I mean, maybe that's why. Maybe there's a filter there to protect us, I guess. I don't know. I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a real strange thing, because you would think, oh, your family, there shouldn't be a filter. But I feel like for me at least, I don't want to bother them. And if they're doing, like, if they got something they need to say, they'll say it.
Yeah, I agree.
They'll show me. And they do leave signs. Like, there's signs all around.
Yeah. Yeah, I do get I get a lot of signs, and they do visit me in my dreams a lot. But as far as sensing them or seeing them like I do other spirits, I can't do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, me too. And mine don't come in my dreams either. So, you know, it's funny. I can do zombie dreams and all kinds of dreams, and everybody I know will be in them, but my folks are never in them.
Oh.
So it's that may be a good thing too, though. Yeah. That may be a good thing. How can your people get a hold of you? Like, if somebody's interested, what area are you in? And
we are in North Central West Virginia. You can go to q2paranormal.com. We're on all of the social media, Q2 Paranormal, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook. You can really get me on Facebook. I'm on there the most. But q2paranormal@gmail.com. You can email us if you have a problem. We will go to other states if we around the area. We're not going to go to like California, but we can refer people to help. We can
Sure.
refer people to help, and a lot of times I can pick up a lot just by photos and videos
Mhm.
that people send me. So I'm always willing to help, especially if children are involved.
Sounds like a plan. I thank you so much for being on. This has been absolutely awesome. I am so pleased to get to talk to you, and thank you to all the people that commented tonight and were on watching. It's the support of you guys that keep us going, and the fact that we like to talk as well.
Yes,
It's a little bit of both, but I'm so glad you're jumping back in, Chelle, and
thank
what
you.
a needed thing. Like the residential cases, we definitely have to have more people out there willing to do those kind of things because
Yeah.
it's not for everybody. And um, it's not like a tour that you pay to get to go on and have fun. It's serious
Mm.
business in people's homes. And I don't think people always realize that we put ourselves on the line to do those kind of things. Not that we want like kudos for doing that, but it takes a special person to be able to walk into the conditions that we walk into.
Hmm.
And also have our names go out on the police reports and
Yeah.
the hotline reports that we have to make on a whole lot of those
Yeah.
cases, because it
Hmm.
isn't just one thing, it's multiple things that have to be
And
documented.
I'd just like to say that if you are experiencing something at home, reach out to somebody like us that can help you. It's terrible to keep it quiet or to feel like that you're going to be called crazy or whatnot. I promise that that will not happen. Just reach out
No,
to somebody.
no, and Chelle's absolutely right. If you're in the West Virginia area, get a hold of her team. We're in the Midwest. We're in Missouri. Get a hold of us. Raven's Eye Paranormal or Julie Couch, JuliCouch. I'm on Facebook all the time. I'm also on TikTok, Instagram. I just figured out Snapchat. I'm kind of amazed and impressed with their filters. So it's taken me a little bit of time, but do not call me, text me, or DM me. The questions I ask will be more crazy. That I have a list of questions that I go through with all of our people as well, and sometimes it seems like you're being hit with an interrogation squad, but for safety reasons, for you and for us, we ask a lot of questions, and we may make medical referrals as well, because being a nurse, people don't understand too that a lot of what people go through can be early Parkinson's or early dementia, and which are all valid things. It's not crazy. It's not a mental illness, and you can have paranormal activity going on, and that can disrupt those disease processes too, and then it just implodes. And yeah, get a hold of people like us that are willing to come out there.
Yeah, and if we can't help, we can refer you to
Okay.
somebody who can.
Yeah, and you guys don't charge to come out.
No, we do
We do
not
not
charge.
either.
No,
So
I don't. I feel like if you have a group that is charging you money for something like that, you should just find somebody else. I mean, no group should be charging money for that, in my
no,
opinion.
no,
Mm.
I do charge to clean real estate properties.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, business like that, I do charge when there's been things that have happened and people want to put their places up on the market. That's a whole different.
yeah. That's a different ballgame. I'm talking
Oh,
residential,
yeah.
children involved. Nobody should be charging you to come help your children in
What
a
Chris
situation like
Chuck
that.
Chuck says, watch what you bring home. Oh, all the
Yeah,
time. We watch it in the corners. We watch it on the closet doors. I'm just kidding. Not really. Sometimes we do bring it home. Yes, we try
yeah.
not to, but sometimes we do. Again, thank you so much for being on tonight. We so appreciate you. As always, guys, stay safe for this next week. Take care of yourself. Love yourself. Get a hold of somebody. Yeah, get a hold of somebody if you're not feeling normal, if you're feeling down, if you're feeling oppressed. Talk to somebody. Everybody's life is worth living. Don't don't uh, don't take the easy way out, and don't make a snap decision. Always pick up the phone and call if you need anything.
Yes.
We appreciate you, and we want everybody around. We don't need any more spirits to play with.
No, we have enough.
That. Thank y'all. We'll see you next week.
Bye,
Well,
everybody.
thank you. Go get some supper.
Yes.
Love you guys. Take
Love
it
you.
easy. Good night.